Our program is a six-week-long program that works to train middle school, high school athletes that may or may not have had a concussion in the past. It trains things such as balance, agility, neck strength, scapular strength, and vision training, all things which research has shown to help reduce your risk of getting a concussion. It's a pretty unique program. There's a few other things kind of like it throughout the country, but I would say not many as comprehensive as what we've tried to do. We did a really comprehensive literature review prior to creating this program, and there's not a lot of other things out there like this. Here at Medwest, where I work in our physical therapy clinic, I work with a lot of middle school and high school athletes. I see quite a few concussion patients. And then our two athletic trainers that are also helping me implement this program, they both also work at two middle schools in the area, and they see these athletes every day as well. So we're really familiar with how these athletes, how they play, and how they train. There's definitely sports that are more common to get a concussion, but I've seen quite a few athletes, cheerleaders, gymnasts, dancers that have had concussions, along with sports that you would typically think of, such as football, soccer, lacrosse, some more that have more contact, but anybody or any sport, any athlete could be at risk for concussion. Personally, when I do my physical therapy evaluation, I'm able to tease out what some vision, some ocular, vestibular testing that helps me identify if potentially someone has suffered a concussion, along with hearing their subjective complaints. There's some things such as dizziness or headaches or light sensitivity, fogginess or nausea or difficulty concentrating. All of these things together can help me kind of lead to my diagnosis when seeing a patient who has had a concussion. There's a lot more programs out there right now to help prevent injury risk by improving your strength or your movement patterns, but it's not well known that you can also do the same thing with preventing a concussion. So working on things such as your awareness on a field, so you're more likely, in your reaction time, you're more likely to be ready for a ball that may be coming at you or a player that's about to hit you, and you can brace and be ready for that. Working on those things and training those things can actually help reduce your risk of concussion, and building awareness for this, especially for parents and athletes, can hopefully reduce the risk of how many concussions are diagnosed pretty regularly now. Fixing them when they do occur or catching them when it does occur, it's really up to family members, teammates, coaches, trainers to be able to note that an athlete, something's off. They look different, their mood's different, they're complaining of symptoms they didn't have in the past. It's up to some of their peers to recognize these symptoms. But as far as reducing your risk of getting a concussion, that awareness is the same too. So athletic trainers, again, parents, peers, athletes, being aware that they can reduce the risk of concussion is really important as well. It used to be that you could just, that everyone thought you could just rest and you would recover from a concussion fairly quickly. But now it's more well known that active recovery, gradual active recovery is the best way to get back faster. But hopefully reducing the risk will reduce the length of time to recover for concussion as well. It's always hard to say, as far as concussion or diagnosing a concussion, you can't say right off the bat, this is severe, this is mild. You can only kind of tell it retrospectively, looking back and seeing how long it took to recover, how severe their symptoms lingered. Can you say that was more severe concussion? But it's hard to say initially how it will be. Doing better, and I've only been one piece of her recovery, so doing better, definitely improving. It just takes a while. It takes having the right people on the team, concussion recovery, and having an interdisciplinary team of healthcare providers to work with an individual to help them get them back is the best way. If you have all these minds working together to help her recover in all different areas, that's the best way to to get her back to where she needs to go, but she's improving.
I love it. It's been my life for a long time, like since I was like 4. Mostly soccer and basketball. That's like my 2 main ones. I love like my teammates really. Growing up, I was always playing with my 2 best friends, and that was what made it really fun. That's what made me start to like love playing. First game of the season, I think it was the second half, and we were running full speed down. I was chasing a girl who had the ball, and we got like tripped up, or I was pushed, I don't really know, and I landed on the turf, like my head on the ground, and I got like whiplash. And so I went off the field, and I felt fine. I just felt a little weird until the next morning, where like every time I moved, I got dizzy and I had a headache forever. So I think I landed like on the side of my head, and then it whipped back. But I'm not completely sure. I was just wondering how like quickly I could get like not like that, get better, because it was awful. Like I couldn't roll over or like stand up without having the whole room spin around me. Yeah, I figured I had a concussion when I kept getting dizzy, but the night before I really didn't think I did because I felt fine. The trainer had me like look back and forth between a couple objects to see if that made me dizzy, and it did. And so he said that he figured I had one, but you're supposed to wait like a couple days after the concussion to make sure you still have symptoms before you go see a doctor. Almost 5 months. I still have pretty much all the same symptoms, but I'm in vision therapy, vestibular therapy, and then physical therapy for my neck, so that's helped out quite a bit, yeah, but still get headaches like pretty much all the time. The lights, and if there's like noise bothers me too, and like any kind of activity, like I still can't run. It's really difficult because there's like basketball in the morning and weights, and I can't go to any of that. I can't even go watch it because it's loud, and the fluorescent lights at school, I'll have to wear like a hat all the time. It was really difficult. I couldn't really do much without getting a headache. I was in the nurse most of the time because I just couldn't handle being out in the lights, and concentrating and trying to read was really difficult. We were thinking at the beginning, he was like, usually within 3 weeks the concussion will like go away, you'll be better. But now it's kind of just like trying to treat the symptoms, because I don't think I have a concussion anymore. I have like post-concussion syndrome, I think, and we're trying to treat that to get rid of the symptoms, and then I'll be better. But I don't know how long it's going to take. It's really frustrating thinking at like 3 months I'll be fine, and then here I am 2 months later. I would have loved to do something like that to strengthen my neck, because I think a lot of the problem was how I got the concussion was the whiplash. It like flung my brain. So it would have been really helpful to have something beforehand to help strengthen me. If you don't have to go through this, then it's worth it. I want to do. That's what I'm trying to get back to, being able to play with my team. Yeah. Not having to sit on the sidelines again. If I wouldn't have sat out, I can't imagine how much worse it could have been. 5 months later, I would be a lot worse than I would. I'm better off now that I took a break and followed the doctor's instructions, because all they're doing is trying to help me get better. I am so much better off than I was the first couple days, and it's only gonna get better. You know, I can't get worse if I'm following the instructions and not doing what I'm supposed to do. So, but I'm so much better, and he and Emily have helped me out a lot, and my vision therapist. Do I say the name? She's Miss Tambry at Olathe Family Vision. I guess the headaches aren't as bad. I still kind of have them every day, pretty much all the time, but I take Tylenol and stuff to help them. But I think just the headache's getting like lower pain. I'm knowing that this is going to get better, hopefully soon, trying to get better for basketball and being able to do things that a normal person would be doing like over summer and the start of the school year. I can't wait to get back to that.